Advance parole for DACA, what is it? If you have DACA and want to take a trip outside of the country, you need to apply for advance parole. You generally cannot re-enter the US unless you have it. But what is advance parole? What are the benefits of advance parole? How much does it cost? How long does it take? In this video, we're going to discuss this, who is eligible and how to apply, and answer some of the most commonly asked questions. To begin, what is advance parole? Advance parole for DACA was put in place by the Obama administration. Under the different presidential administrations, the program has at times been shut down. As of today, August 9th, 2021, USCIS is currently accepting advance parole applications. Advance parole allows certain individuals to travel outside of the US without fear of being denied re-entry. There's always a risk, but you have this protection. Additionally, advance parole is a type of parole under immigration law. Some of the most common types of parole include parole in place, humanitarian parole, and advance parole. Although immigration law does not consider any type of parole as a lawful entry, being paroled into the US is akin to entering with permission. The technical differences aren't too important for this discussion. Rather, what is important is the advantage parole gives people. Much like that of a lawful entry, parole generally allows you to use this to become a resident in the United States, as there are numerous other factors that need to be assessed in a person's case. For most people, the legal analysis would not stop here. If you want to see more videos like this, please let me know by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most people watching this video are not subscribed. Help me change that by hitting that red button down below. For what reasons can I get advance parole for DACA? USCIS currently offers advance parole for DACA recipients if overseas travel is in furtherance of at least one of the following categories. First, for humanitarian purposes, such as visiting a family member who is sick or attend funeral services. Secondly, for educational purposes, such as overseas study, abroad school programs, and university research. 3, for employment purposes, such as overseas assignments, interviews, conferences, training, or meeting with overseas clients. Purely traveling for leisure, for fun, for pleasure, these are not a valid reason at the moment to obtain advance parole. How much does advance parole for DACA cost? As of today, August 9th, 2021, USCIS charges $575 to process a DACA application for advance parole. To process an advance parole application for DACA, to get the most up-to-date information, check out USCIS website. For emergency advance parole applications, USCIS only takes payment if you will be approved. You can pay the fee with the money order, with a personal check, cashier's check, or even a credit card. If you choose a credit card payment, you need to use USCIS's credit card form. If you don't have an emergency, you mail your advance parole application to USCIS. Through the mailing route, USCIS will take your payment regardless if they approve your application or not. Can I get a green card with advance parole? This is a good question. Advance parole can provide many benefits, but it is not a one-way ticket to a green card. In some cases, a person may be eligible to obtain legal permanent residency, a green card, with the help of advance parole. Generally, in order to obtain a green card, there are 2 ways: in the US or where you were born. The important thing to keep in mind is, how did you enter the United States? This is very important. To become a resident in the US, you must have had some sort of legal entry. If you remember, we discussed this a little bit earlier. Although advance parole for DACA is technically not a lawful entry, the way the law is written, advance parole can be used generally to adjust status and get your green card. As of writing this article, DACA and advance parole do allow you to get a green card, assuming everything else is in order. If you did not have a lawful entry into the United States, then you generally have to return to your country of birth. For these cases, you might even need a waiver to waive your unlawful presence here in the US. Keep in mind, advance parole just gives you a lawful means to obtain a green card. Advance parole does not erase any other ground of inadmissibility. If a person is permanently barred from becoming a resident, obtaining advance parole will not change your eligibility. Additionally, if you have other negative factors in your case, such as a criminal record, Advance Parole will not change how this affects your immigration eligibility. How long does the processing time take? The processing times vary depending upon if you're submitting an emergency or non-emergency application. As of recently, you should be able to get an emergency appointment within a month of calling. This varies by the USCIS office where you live in your jurisdiction, in your area, and the volume of cases that are ahead of you. If you have an emergency or think you might, you should act on this sooner rather than later. Additionally, if it is a non-emergency application, your wait time will be several months. For the most up-to-date information, view USCIS's case processing times website. I will include it down below in the links. When can I apply for Advance Parole? In order to apply for Advance Parole, you need to already have DACA. If you are applying for DACA for the first time, you must submit your DACA application and wait until it is approved. Once your DACA application is approved, then you can apply for Advance Parole. Unfortunately, USCIS does not let first-time DACA applicants file an Advance Parole application at the same time you file your DACA application. How much time will USCIS give me? This depends on each office. The normal time given is approximately a month or 30 days. Some offices will provide you more time. Obtaining Advance Parole will not allow you to re-enter the US numerous times. Advance Parole allows one entry back into the US. Theoretically, if a person had another basis for Advance Parole, they could potentially obtain it once again in the future. However, the purpose of Advance Parole for DACA is not to allow someone to keep leaving and entering the US. A person should only use it once. That's the safest thing to do, and then when they can adjust status, to do so with the Advance Parole. So what happens once your Advance Parole application is approved? If your application is approved, you will obtain a travel document. USCIS labels this as an I-512L document. This document is your proof that you are allowed to be paroled back into the US. As mentioned above, if you have any other ground of inadmissibility, any other reason that makes you ineligible to enter the US legally, Advance Parole will not erase that negative factor. Furthermore, make sure that your Advance Parole document has the same information contained on your work permit. Both of these documents will be reviewed upon entry into the US. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button. Most people watching this are not subscribed. Please help me change that. Thank you.